Oh, hi Joe, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Abby. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you.
Good.
Thank you for speaking with me today. Like, I really appreciate you giving me your time.
Thanks for the invite.
Anyways, so would you first just like to introduce yourself to our listeners, tell them a bit about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so my name's Joe. It's Joe Roe. I do spell it like a bloke. It's Joeroe. So I'm the. It's just because people know me as Joe
Yeah,
Roe. So
fair enough.
I'm the. I'm the mental health coach, and I help people get back their mind mojo, and I do that through a beautiful blend of coaching and NLP. So NLP is short for neuro linguistic programming as well.
Nice.
Um, and a bit more background is that I have my own lived experience of mental health. So it just became my life purpose to work with people to help them get back to regain and maintain their own mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And coaching and NLP was such a game changer for me that it just was a natural path that I fell down and something that
Yeah,
I'm really passionate about.
amazing. May I ask about, or just jumping straight into it, I guess, am I
Yeah.
right to ask about your personal experience with mental health?
Yeah, that's fine, no problem. I do wear my heart on my sleeve. I do
Yeah.
like to share my story and to inspire people and to give people hope as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I did start off with stress. Stress was something that I sort of wore as a badge of honour. When I worked, I was responsible for 120 staff and a £2 million budget at one point.
Wow,
And yeah,
a
so
lot of
stress,
people.
yeah. Stress was quite a normal thing, I suppose, for me, if you could call it normal. I probably was burning out without realising at that point.
Yeah.
And I went on to have being diagnosed with general anxiety disorder,
Right.
where when you've got that, you worry about anything and everything. And I was caring for my dad. I then lost my dad to cancer. I lost my step parents to cancer, and also my job was at risk as well. So there was a lot
God.
going off. So I didn't.
Yeah, I'm
It
so
was
sorry to hear that.
yeah, and this was back in 2011, 2012. It then led on to chronic fatigue syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I was bedridden overnight. So it was all about pacing myself. My goal was to get in the bath every day,
Yeah.
and it got to the point where I couldn't even pull myself out of the bath with the taps. And then the biggest thing that hit with me with my mental health was experiencing my first bipolar manic episode, and the
Right.
first one was in 2013. And I experienced psychosis where you get hallucinations and delusions. And then the
Yeah.
second one was in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
So I was sectioned both times in a mental health hospital, and then recovery out of hospital following that. So it's been quite a journey, really,
Yeah.
through
I
that.
imagine.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
lots of lessons learned along the way. So I'm really, really aware of my triggers now and my early warning signs, which is great.
Yeah. Obviously, like getting a bit more into that, obviously with chronic fatigue syndrome and like the bipolar disorder, it's on such a spectrum. And obviously for every individual, the way it presents itself is different. I mean,
Mm.
impacts them is obviously going to be different too. How would you kind of explain your personal experience with these?
Yeah, so it absolutely spot on, Abby. Everybody does experience it
Yeah.
differently. So for me, I'm classed as bipolar one, and that's where, like I say, you experience mania and deep depression, and that mania usually comes with psychosis, or the depression can actually come with psychosis.
Yeah.
And like I say, that's hallucinations and delusions. So for me, for example, I thought I'd won the lottery. I thought I had a cure for cancer. It's very extreme hallucinations and delusions that I was
Right.
experiencing. Um, Again, everybody's different of what level or what that would be for them.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's bipolar 2, where people tend to experience hypomania rather than mania. So it's a level of hypomania and deep depression again,
right?
But tend to not have the mania and the psychosis. And then there's another one where cyclothymia, where people cycle between hypomania and depression,
right?
So they tend to cycle through that. So like you say, there's such an extreme on the different spectrums of how people experience it, is that each, I know has coined it journey, but it is a journey. Each people's experience are totally different. No two experiences are the same.
Yeah. Obviously, you know, as you've probably seen yourself, like there's been so much news about how the UK is probably facing its biggest mental health crisis right now, eating disorder crisis as well. You know, what's it been like for you during the pandemic? How have you kind of like managed?
First of all, I enjoyed it. So at the very start, and I think I've heard this a lot from people, including clients who experience anxiety, I suppose they did go into their own bubble, almost into their own place. So for me, it was the sunshine. It was really sunny in the first
very
lockdown.
nice. Very nice weather.
Definitely. And it was such a slower pace of life, and that's what I have now, a much slower pace of life. There's no stress. I have to avoid stress. So I avoid the news anyway. So I protected myself with that, and, only was aware of what I needed to be aware of.
Yeah.
And just focused on positive things like the community coming together and, that community spirit, and that, like, the impact on the environment, just not by using your car, for example.
I know that was amazing what we saw. Yeah, I speak about this all the time with my friends and family.
Yeah. So, and I think then there was like, I went through a bit of a middle stage where I knew I had to look after myself even more. I was having, my thing I start to notice is I'm having toast every day instead of eating the mood foods, is what I call them.
Yeah.
That my mood foods for me is about putting it all in a NutriBullet and blending up the fruit and veg. And
nice.
Yeah, so that's really good for me. Walking my dogs has been my absolute, and being in nature's been brilliant for me.
Yeah.
And then I went out and brought a bike. I've not been on a bike for over 25 years. So
neither have I. I've not been on one in ages.
So that was brilliant. And I think it was just that most of the time I could continue with coaching people with their mental health and following my purpose. So everything shifted to Zoom.
Yeah.
I've always had clients through Zoom, but I've also got a face-to-face therapy centre that I work from. So I did lose some clients, but the purpose was still there, and I was still helping people with their mental health. So that helped me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just
I know what you
sense
mean.
of purpose.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I must say, just being in London when I was there during the summer this year, on the tubes it was so much quieter, and it just felt so much nicer, because I don't like big crowds or anything anyway. So yeah, I completely understand where you're coming from on that side of things.
Yeah, I mean, even now I've got clients coming who have got that anxiety to get out again, and to eat in public or be out with their friends.
Yeah,
it's quite common now. That social anxiety that's coming back again.
Yeah, no, I've definitely been a lot more. It's harder going back out. Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Obviously, sports and physical activity, plays such a massive role in improving people's fitness and, mental health as well. Obviously, you've talked a lot about getting out and going for walks and stuff. Is there anything else you enjoy doing, or just to help you take care of yourself?
Yeah. I've thought about this, and sorry, can you hear me okay? I'll just
go for it.
Oh, great. And when I was younger, I used to love running, and I don't do any running now. I used to do athletics and cross country, and I used to love team sports as well, like netball. But now I do what I'm motivated towards doing. So I've never been a gym bunny. It's very important, and coaching is all about this: is being motivated towards what you want to do and something you enjoy doing. So I like I say, I don't run, I don't go to the gym, but what I do, like you say, is walk. And I walk with my dogs, and my mum comes with me, so we connect, and have a chat. I like I say, I cycle now, and with my partner. Swimming, I enjoy swimming, and sort of dancing. I've got that motto of dancing like nobody's watching. So
Love it.
It's not been possible with lockdown, but I put music on when I'm cleaning, just to lift my spirits and my mood, more than anything. So it's not, I know these, I suppose these are more activities than sports for me. I see them as, if they're fun and uplifting and something I enjoy doing.
Yeah, I still think that's, very applicable to sports as well. Like with me, I'm not a fan of running either. I don't like it. Indoor workouts, I love them. So just about finding what you enjoy doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And how do these activities kind of help your mental health? How do you think it's a great way to decompress and just remove yourself from these everyday pressures?
Yeah, so it's the first of all, it's the happy feel good hormone, the endorphins that we release. Walking for me, like I say again, it's being out in nature, and it helps me to take a break. So I tend to, for me personally, I'll have a walk about 12 o'clock on my dinner hour, and just being mindful about it, and it just reduces my stress. So it's a really mindful experience. The cycling, like I say, it's something that I do with my partner, so it's something that we do together. So that helps my mental health, and it helps our, it's our relationship.
Yeah, of course.
And doing something together. The swimming, it's the breathing for me, and the counting the lengths and gliding.
Very meditative.
Very, very. And like I say, the dancing thing is it just does absolutely lift my mood, and it's something fun, and now hopefully with lockdown lifting more, I can spend more time with my friends dancing like nobody's watching.
That'd be great.
So the social aspect of it is important, that I've missed more than anything, I think, for me.
And obviously, as you said, sports and just any activity, music as well, is phenomenal in helping you decompress, relieve yourself of pressures. Why would you recommend people try to get more active, and can you talk a bit more about how it can benefit them personally?
So I think additional stuff to what I've already mentioned is building confidence and self-esteem. I think doing activities absolutely does that, and I feel more energized, and it certainly improves sleep as well. So I think they're really important. And mental health and physical health, obviously it has that benefit for both mental and physical health. So they're the key areas I think that people will benefit from, that confidence, that energized, improved sleep, and the mental and physical aspects, as well as 1,000,001 other reasons why to do it.
Of course. Obviously, a lot of research has been done on mental health, body image, confidence, and all that. Sometimes people want to do something to help themselves, but they're stuck in a rut, or they don't have the energy capacity to do something with themselves. What kind of advice would you have for anyone feeling like this, wanting to move forward?
I've had a lot of I get a lot of people come through with mental health, and it's mainly teens but also adults, where they've got what I call comparing despair, where they're comparing themselves to other people. And it takes away joy, absolutely takes away joy in life. It's that social media that we've got access to now, and the high expectation we start to put on ourselves. And then that has sort of a ripple knock-on effect of creating low self-esteem, low energy, and that stuck in a rut that you're talking about. So I think my first advice would be do what's right for you. It's that, again, what's right for me is not right for you, and remove that sort of comparing of what others are doing. So, for me, it's essential to rest and to go at my own pace and work at my own energy levels. So I think that first bit of advice would be to do absolutely what is right for you, and be realistic about it. So, I'm not going to run a marathon, but I might take my dogs out 3 to 5 times a week for 45 minutes. So what is your goal, and how realistic is it? Just some other questions to check in with is, how important is it to you? So for me, it's really important. I'll give the example of dog walking again, because it's mentally and physically keeps me well, but also my dogs get a run out, and it keeps them healthy. And like I say, I get to go out with my mum and have a chat with her, especially when lockdown was happening. And also asking how do I believe, what do I believe about my goals? So if you believe you can achieve it, you're more likely to achieve it. So for example, with the dog walking, I've done it before, so I can do it again. Is a belief that I've got. And also, what do I need to do it? So again, with dog walking, I need my dog lead, I need my poo bags, I need the ball that my dog loves to run with. And if it's raining, it's having my raincoat there or winter coat, you know, so it's motivating you more to doing it if you've got everything nearby. And it's that ultimate question is what else. It's that sort of Britain's Got Talent golden buzzer moment, and I know it's only dog walking, but for me it would be, it makes me feel great afterwards. I feel amazing
it really is the small things, it really is.
So I think you know, that's my golden buzzer bit of advice I would go is it's that after feeling. It just makes you feel brilliant.
And obviously, like, speaking out to people is also, like, I feel it's very hard to do. And obviously what you do, it is all about that conversation and being that kind of platform. How would you kind of encourage people to go about reaching out to someone to talk about how they're doing, feeling, coping?
I think it's about finding what's right for each individual. Everybody is different. It may be a friend. Actually walking and talking is quite good because you're not facing the person, you're like side by side, so that could be quite nice. It may be a specialist like a GP, it could be a counsellor, it could be a coach, it could be, I think it's about finding who and what is right for you. And that could be a professional or somebody you know that you trust. And I think it's about focusing on what works for you, again, and focusing on your goals. So and that I suppose like I say, each individual is different, aren't we? And we acknowledge that, and we are unique and brilliantly unique. And it's finding that right match, I think.
Do you know of any like good apps or anything you can recommend? Because I know, like, you know, some people may not feel comfortable just speaking to anyone. Like, I know there's I've heard of apps, but I'm not sure if you know of any good ones that you could like
I mean, what I tend to do is say to people that there's tons of apps out there. So again, it's I know I'm throwing it back again, but it's finding the right one for you. So you know, it is a case of just going into the app store and putting in sleep, or you know, whatever it is that you want. So you might have an app for going on doing your bike rides and seeing how far you're traveling and how fast you're going. It may be an app for sleeping. It may be, there's all sorts of different apps. And, for example, I've created a few things within my website. So, they're just freebies in there that people can go to. So as you probably are aware, music's run through my blood. So I've got a jukebox in there that people can just access for free.
Awesome.
And I've also got like a toolbox as well, and there's a free goal setting toolbox in there. So it's a workbook called the Donut Workbook. So it's nice. a really nice, simple tool and technique for goal setting. And there's some bonuses in there and things as well. So, the World Wide Web is our oyster, isn't it, these days?
It really is.
What is out there is phenomenal, really.
It is.
So I suppose more than anything, don't feel overwhelmed when you are looking, but just maybe focus on one area first and see what's right for you, rather than trying to look at everything in one go.
I agree. Like take such small steps. I think that really, in the long run, really builds up, because what I like to personally tell myself is just bringing together all the small little things that you do and achieve each day, like really builds up into something really nice.
Absolutely.
And where can people find like your jukebox and stuff? Did you have like a website?
So it's I'll spell it again. My name, it's Joe Roe, JoeRoe.co.uk. And the toolbox is /toolbox, and the jukebox, I believe, is /jukebox. But if you just go to my website, you'll be able to find them on there. If you just scroll down lower on the page, they're accessible there. So
awesome.
yeah, it's joeroe.co.uk.
Awesome. And yeah, just like, kind of like wrap everything you've said up. Is there anything you would like to add or kind of like really emphasize to anyone that's listening right now, feeling stuck or just wanting to hear something uplifting?
Yeah, I think it's just going back to that. Do focus on you, on what works for you and what motivates you, and because that compare and despair, like I say again, it can just take away so much joy, and it can have such a huge effect, not just on mental health, but like you were saying about people's eating habits and all sorts of things when we start to compare ourselves. And I just think I get so many teenagers come through, and it really, really it breaks my heart sometimes to hear how they're actually feeling. But I also love how they can work through that. And it is you can work through these things, and it is achievable that you can live a happy, healthy, calm life.
There is help out there. I think it is just a case of like, try what you can to find something or someone to just reach out to.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, that's kind of all I really needed to ask. Thank you for speaking with me again. Like, it really was insightful, and I think a lot of those questions I was kind of like needing to hear as well. So thank you for that.
Good. All right, you're welcome. Awesome. Okay, Abby.
All right, I'll let you go. Have a lovely day.
Okay then, take care.
Hope lockdown goes well.
Thank you. Bye.